I'll do it this way. No, I won't. 9/11 actually has a special place in my heart. As an American, one of the things, I mean, when you hear in the scripture it says ashes to ashes, dust to dust. How can I start this, really? Everyone here can remember exactly where they were when they started hearing about what was happening here in New York, and also what happened in Virginia. I'm from Maryland. I'll never, ever forget that day. That day was the beginning of a new America for us as a people and as for the world. I lost a very close friend in the Pentagon and didn't know until almost a few years later when I went to look him up. I met him when I was 12 years old. I'm an amateur radio operator. He was a school teacher. He served in Vietnam. After he got out of the service, he became a teacher. And then after he retired from being a school teacher, he went back to serve our country again. And he was in the Pentagon that day. So for me, 9/11 will always hold a special place in my heart. But the one thing we need to understand coming from 9/11, how many people here remember when everything ended, in a sense, how we came together as a country? We started to recognize that it's not just about me. It's about everyone here. And at that point, we started paying attention to what was not so important just for me or just for you, but it was for everybody else. That's the America that I remember. That's the America that we need to get back to. One of the things that really disturbed me was I started hearing people say we overreacted. I'm sorry. 3,000 plus brothers and sisters of ours perished that day. That's way too many, one too many for an act like that. In my mind, and personally for me, we didn't act enough. We need to do more so we never, ever have an action like that ever happen again, not only here in the United States, but throughout the rest of the world. Just because a few individuals wanted to hurt innocent people, that should never be. So I thank the first responders. I thank our military that protects us from these individuals. And going further, the politicians, this is a note for them. I did run for office. I did not win. But one of the things I want the politicians to hear from us and everybody else throughout the world, that I got upset when I started hearing this is too soon for us to see the images of what happened on that day. It's never too soon, because we should never, ever forget. So when I go back and I look at some of those images, some of the images that are basically very emotional, when we see the three firemen raising the flag above the rubble of the World Trade Center, that was huge. That was the new America. That was us rising up. When we start seeing the photos of some of the firemen that were heading into the building knowing that that was probably the last conscious act that they were going to do and pay the ultimate price, giving their life to save someone else's. So I'm sorry, we didn't act enough. Overreaction, that's not in the vocabulary when it comes to 9/11 and concerning the people and the brothers and sisters we lost on that day. So when we see our our military, our first responders, and anybody else that puts their life in jeopardy to basically, so we have the privilege to stand out here on a glorious day like today and say, thank you. Thank you for being American. Thank you for serving us and giving us the right to do what we do and to be the country that we are. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank the Lord for this glorious day. And thank you.